Hey Facebook, I'm sitting at the Chicago Millennium South Shore train station, literally on the ground, stealing electricity to charge my phone. And it's 10:20, and my train arrives at 11:15, so I have an hour to kill. Uh, I'm not going to be on Facebook Live for an hour. I had the most amazing day. Like literally, today was the beginning of Intro to Writing. And it doesn't have a class to graduate into. It's a one-off, but it's Intro to Writing, movie, film, and TV sitcoms. And what I learned today is the mechanics of writing a film. So for instance, to break it down very simply, for those that are coffee drinkers, I can put you in front of any kind of coffee machine, anywhere in the world, and you can make coffee even though it's not your favorite coffee brewer. You can make coffee if you understand the mechanics, and your coffee will end up tasting very, very smooth and delicious if you understand the mechanics. And the mechanics are, you need a filter, you need grounds, filter, grounds, a coffee pot, a coffee canister to contain water, and coffee grounds. If you have all of that, you will have coffee. And so the mechanics of every movie are the thesis, the antithesis, and the synthesis. For instance, the thesis would be, the instructor gave the example, I don't believe in love. The antithesis is, you met somebody who's good. The synthesis is, perhaps I can love again. Or I believe bicycling, riding a bike in the city, bicycling is dangerous because of traffic. But I saw a parent with a child on a bicycle in the city. Perhaps I can ride a bicycle and not die. Just the elementary version of that. And then we have, every movie has 5 pieces to it. Every movie has a goal, stakes, obstacles, and transformation. That would be the main character. The main character always has a goal. The main character always has an objective that must be important, and something stands in the way of them reaching their goal, and they transform, meaning they change. So your 5 acts. Act 1 is the setup. It establishes status quo. Who, what, where, why, and then there's always an inciting incident, something that upsets the normal. In terms of Erin Brockovich, her status quo was she's broke, she's a single mom, she can never find a good job. If she finds a good job, something goes wrong and she always ends up getting fired or quit. She finds this job through her attorney. The inciting incident that upsets normal is she accidentally discovers files that water is polluted in a town nearby. That is something she can't unsee, and it interrupts her status quo. Suddenly her job has importance. Plot 1 is accept a call to action. Goals are established. It's the first time the character makes a choice to do something, and there's really no turning back. None of this matters. You probably checked out already, but it matters to me because it's my fucking life. Act 2, they try to accomplish a goal, sometimes reluctantly, sometimes willingly. Act 3, things are going very well until something dramatic happens, and there's a permanent change, something that cannot ever go back in time. For instance, in Titanic, hitting the iceberg was the midpoint. We thought it was a movie about love. We thought it was about an underdog who hustled his way onto a great ship. Turns out it's now a movie about survival because they hit an iceberg. The first goal was to be in love. The new goal is now just to stay alive. And as we know, he dies. Act 4 is... Act 4 would be things start going wrong. Something is failing. The movie feels like you couldn't possibly get any worse. In Erin Brockovich, that would be losing her love. Her love no longer wants to be with her because she's a workaholic and won't leave this firm. She's given a task of getting even more proof and documentation. Otherwise, the case won't go to trial. Another law firm is hired to help her, and they lock her out of the files. That would be action is failing and things are starting to go wrong. That's her moment of crisis, and she must decide, does she have the strength to overcome? And Act 5 is the climax, and don't we all love a good climax? Climax would be where the character makes tough choices, actually change, the bad guy is defeated, status quo is changed, and we reach the end and everything's awesome. So I just bored you with like everything that I learned today, but I promise you it was so exciting learning it because, as you all know, I'm writing this movie and I have this movie in my head, and oh my god, Frank, hi! My truck works, Frank, it started. Frank's my mechanic friend from 8th grade. Anyway, I'm writing this movie and I've been working on it for almost a year, and I have the whole storyline, but until I got in this class today, I didn't realize how many holes are in what I'm doing. And I have to go back now, not like rewrite, but just go back and figure out like what is the status quo of the main character. My movie is about two addicts in love. Why in the heck would they fall in love? What was the problem that they believed they needed each other? And what was going well while they were together? And what was that incident that just shifted things where you can never see it the same way again? Like, I know it, but I haven't written it. So anyway, okay, want to know something amazing? One of my students, fellow students, I met in the hallway, and she asked me why I was going to Second City, and I told her I was going to Second City so I can meet somebody and move me to LA so that I can live in a big house and wear a diamond ring and have maids and swim in a pool all day and get my nails done. And she just started laughing at me and said, I don't know, that might not be the best plan. Like, I don't think that's going to happen here. And then I spent the next 20 minutes trying to convince her that actually that's not why I'm in Second City. I'm in Second City because I love the craft, I love art, I love entertaining, I love storytelling, I love causing people to laugh, I love moving people from pain to joy, and I have a dream that is like a stone in my shoe and it won't go away, and I have to pursue it with everything I have. And even if I lose, what I'll have at the end of this is to be able to look myself in the mirror and say I did it. So that's not a loss. There is no loss. And she hugged me after like I pleaded my case for what felt like 20 minutes. And she's like, that thing about LA was kind of funny. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm a comic. Anyway, I'm not going to Second City to move to LA. I'm not trying to meet a football player. I'm not trying to get famous. I'm trying to do something so fucking remarkable that more people than I can count are healed as a result of what I produce, because laughing through the pain is what we should all be able to do. And my friend was so amazing. She hugged me and she's like, you're in the right place. And then she took me down this hallway of pictures and she pointed to Steve Carell and she goes, do you know that guy? And I was like, yeah, I love The Office. I love Michael Scott. And she goes, oh, he was my teacher in the 90s. I'm a Second City alumni. I graduated in the 90s and I spent my entire career doing various forms of entertainment. You're in the right place. You're not wasting your time. can you seriously? Can you believe that? Like, we're just one radical decision away from a totally different life. I just made friends with somebody whose teacher was Steve Carell. That's like fucking badass. It's worth walking 45 minutes in the cold with my legs are so sore, my body is so sore. I am walking uphill, downhill, upstairs, downstairs. I am walking all through the city, 45 minutes to get to school. I'm taking a bus, 2 trains. I mean, my struggle to get here every day is in itself a movie. But what else would I do? Sit on a bar stool? I did that for 6 years. Oh, that did get me fun. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of love. I had a lot of pain, but I don't have a lot to show for it. So now I'm going to walk myself into a dream. Anyway. I love you. And when we make it, I will remember you.